This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Go all in on fall with Abercrombie Kids. Their newest drop of on-trend outfits are ready for everything, from the bus stop to family bonfires. And it wouldn't be fall without football. Gear up the kids with officially licensed NFL tees and sweatshirts. Shop Abercrombie Kids this season in the app, online, and in-store.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily. 5 things kids can learn from helping with home renovations by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca. What is our basement known as? A, where the laundry train broke down. B, where air goes to die. C, the perpetual dumping grounds of stuff that has no home. D, all of the above. It is known by all of the above. In the first 5 years we've lived here, we've managed to rip up the golden speckled shag carpets, paint the cement flooring, provided a loving home to some gym equipment that is actually used, and dreamt up some big plans on how to use the space for living instead of storage. So, we finally got to this stage. We had totally decluttered the basement and were ready to reclaim this space to make it an amazing play space for the kids. We started tearing off all the ancient cedar paneling, our 3 small kids running around us. About an hour into it, Connor turned to me and said, "I never thought this would happen." It was funny, because I'd just been laughing at myself, that the old me would have never done renos like this with toddlers running around. I mean, we had renovated our upstairs, but we only had 1 kid, and it was done during naps or while one of us watched Levi. But not with 2 toddlers. Oh dear. Never 3 toddlers. Too much danger, too much stress, too much chaos. I like things easy, and renos with toddlers is not easy. I don't know if it was learning about the Enneagram to see this incapability-based mindset in myself and trying to redirect it, or if it was the crescendoing buildup of Pinterest dreams in my mind, or maybe it was because I was desperate for the kids to have their own space to explore, play, get active, creative, and crazy. So there we were, wielding hammers, drills, and brooms, and for some reason I'm dressed like a woodland sprite. Before kids, we would renovate all the time. Sure, it sucked to do as young people in love. It was like tossing a stick of dynamite into a new marriage, and each partner had a different idea on how to handle it. Thankfully, when we started, we had both our dads come to stay with us and help us along the process. Both of us love renovating. I love the big lofty visioning of a space. He loves getting things done and done well. So the demo process was a reawakening of that passion in us, and we actually brought our kids along with us. The legacy of home renovations passed down to our kids from what we learned from our fathers. As the kids hammered old boards, licked wrenches, and swept up with dusty cobwebs and scraps, I remembered my own childhood. My dad spent the better part of our childhood renovating our homes. I can still remember the pride of holding a metal pingy hammer with 2 cautious hands to swing the nail that he designated as my job. I could be the gopher grabbing him different tools, inherently knowing the worn wooden ones passed on from my grandpa's hands to my dad's. I would revel in the smell of sawdust while I silently and dutifully held a piece of plywood for cutting. I would spend spare moments sweeping and tidying and changing spaces that we were sharing to keep the job moving forward and keeping myself useful. Those times are some of my most cherished. I learned so much from both mine and Connor's father over the years. Now I hope that we can pass that legacy on to our children. So here are 5 things I hope our kids learn from being part of our home renovations. Number 1, working as a team. I can't expect too much from them. After all, it took Connor and I, and all of our adult sensibilities, a few solid years to manage this, not including the collaborative furniture assembly learning curve. But as we worked away, I heard Levi giving orders to his siblings, taking turns with hammers and the stepladder, helping us out with little tasks. Maybe it was the novelty, but they really worked to be part of the project and carry the load. Sure, there's a hierarchy in any family, but we hope they can learn to follow, lead, and that families can do and work together as teams. Number 2, being useful. With any project, there's the fun work, demolition, drilling the final screw, and the not fun work, sweeping the spider webs, pulling nails, cleaning up the shoe closet because someone had an accident in there while looking for prettier shoes. Always keeping yourself busy means the job is always moving forward. We hope our kids learn to do this on their own motivation and find jobs that they can do when their task is done. But for now, it might involve lots of snack picnics, cuddle breaks, and playing hide and seek in all the spaces they never frequent. Number 3, sensing danger. A renovation site has dangers, and this was always a holdup for me to include them in the reno process. But as I heard Dawson motioning to different parts of the basement and telling me, "Hot," I knew he was learning about danger and using his sense to avoid it. Levi spent a large portion of time asking us, "Will our house break?" and then hammering a piece of wood till it broke in two. Of course, he hit his thumb, and we both told him stories about when we did that as kids. Our living space is very kid-proof, but I know that real life is the best way to teach them how to spot and navigate dangers. This will always be a struggle for me to let them do this, but I did spend the entire morning being overcautious and protecting my eyes from any nails that might fly off while we pulled off the wall paneling. Then at lunch, I flicked balsamic vinegar in my eye while eating a salad. So maybe I've got to remember some perspective. Boards and nails equals manageable danger. Salad equals imminent danger awaits, possibly short-term blindness. Number 4, being the architect of your space. Renovating your home can be a metaphor for renovating your life. It means having a vision for a space, gathering resources, demolishing what's there to make way for what can be, and staying committed to seeing it through to the final detail. I hope they can learn that they're in control of more things in life than they will want or realize. One of them is the home you live in. You can control how you live in a home by altering what the space is. Number 5, the art of construction. Every carpenter has his own tricks that he learned from another carpenter. As our fathers passed on their knowledge and tips, we will pass them on to whichever kid is listening. Probably not the one looking for pretty shoes, but we'll see. The art of construction has layers of budgeting, resourcing, planning, making a new plan, seeking advice, and, well, the physical construction. We live in times where these talents are outsourced. And sure, if we had the money, we would too. But while we're the ones doing that work, we can show these little apprentices who are joining all of the capacities of construction. You know, teaching life skills between snack breaks, frozen reruns, and diaper changes. Or something like that. We all leave different legacies to our children. Some pass on the travel bug, a love for cooking, or the satisfaction of finding a great deal. A legacy that our own kids will have will include some kitchen dance skills, hammering nails, and eating waffles for dinner, and lunch, and breakfast, and second breakfast. You just listened to the post titled, 5 Things Kids Can Learn from Helping with Home Renovations by Shawna Scafe of simpleonpurpose.ca.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, and a dandy from Shawna today. Thanks a lot to her for this article. There are definitely a lot of great benefits for kids when helping with home renovations, and she's provided a great list here that goes without saying. And one that you might forget, assuming that both partners are working on the renovation together, is that kids are always watching and picking up the interpersonal dynamics between their parents. They're, of course, learning about how to maintain their own future relationships when they observe like this. And that type of attention might really spike under the conditions of a home renovation. Like Shawna said, it's a relatively tense environment given the potential for danger and the amount of precision involved, etc. So, under these types of unique conditions, it'll be especially important to set a good example for your kids in terms of how you and your partner are interacting. because their senses are sure to be heightened. So, no shooting each other with a nail gun, please. All right, everyone. That's going to bring us to the end of yet another episode here on ORD. Thanks as always for coming and continuing to support the show. Of course, we're nothing without you listeners. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and be sure to come on back tomorrow for another parenting post where your optimal life awaits.